konnichiwa. Hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a full review on the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. I got this at Ulta literally yesterday and I wanted to do like a full-on wear test. So today I'm going to be doing some check-ins. We're going to be wearing it throughout the day. We're going to see how many hours of wear we can get in. Now, I don't know why, but a lot of people, like when they were getting PR boxes and stuff, were unboxing this, but I haven't really seen anyone talk about it. So I'm just a little bit confused why. So we're gonna go ahead and test this guy out. Now, a little disclaimer before we get into the video: if you are sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's gonna come out of my mouth, so keep that in mind. So if you guys are interested in seeing how the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation wears, then just stay tuned. I have a lot of texture going on my forehead right now. I have no idea if you guys can see it, but there's a lot of bumps on my forehead. I have no idea where it has come from. My face is just being really shitty because I also have this devilish friend right here on my face. I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face, and we're going to get into a little bit about this. So I bought this in Ulta, and this was the lightest shade that they had. This is F1. I actually have the concealer with me, and this is in the lightest shade as well. I've been reading all over this bottle, and it doesn't say like what kind of finish the foundation is, so I pulled up the information on their website, and it says offering lightweight yet buildable coverage in 24 skin true shades. This versatile foundation is designed to suit every skin type and tone. We're gonna see about that because you all know that I am a dry mess. With an oil-free yet creamy and comfortable formula that dries down to a long-lasting demi-matte finish. It won't settle into fine lines or cling to dry patches. We're gonna see if that's a true statement, because a lot of foundations that claim that, they actually still cling to my dry patches. I think I should have learned my lesson by now to open shit up before I start filming, but I always forget. I'm gonna give this a good shake. I don't know if it's like a thick consistency like the concealer. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this is $12. Now, I'm seeing here that they had a shade lighter than this. This is F1 and they have F0.5. Now, I did not see 0.5 at my Ulta, so I don't know what that looks like, but I'm looking at the picture here and it looks like a very pinky undertone. There is a giant doe foot applicator in here. I don't know why people really mind about these doe foot applicators. I know a lot of people think that it's unsanitary, but as long as no one else is using your damn foundation, as long as your face is nice and clean before you start using like the doe foot applicator, I don't really see anything wrong with it. So we're just gonna go ahead and go straight from this. Now on this side, I'm gonna be using my microfiber fusion sponge, and on this side we're going to be using a flat top kabuki brush. There is no smell to this. It smells like regular foundation. So let's go ahead and put this on. I'm not really sure that's going to be my color. I mean, this is the lightest shade that they had at my Ulta, so we're just going to have to work with it. Alright, so that was like what, I think 2 big swipes, and it's covered the majority of my face, but I still have a lot open right here on my forehead, so I'm just going to go ahead and put just a little smidge on there. Now, as far as the thickness of the foundation, I really don't feel like I'm wearing much of anything on my face at all, which I really, really like. I noticed that a lot of matte foundations, I don't know, once you put them on your face and they start drying down, to me, I think it's because I have dry skin. It just kind of like pulls at the dryness and makes my face feel a little tight. So this is drying down matte, but it says it was a demi matte. So there's a little bit, just a little bit of dewiness. I don't know if it's completely dry yet. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some on this side, and we're going to go in with the kabuki brush. I recently reviewed the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, and I feel like with that foundation and the brush, even though that is a like super matte foundation, I had a lot of tugging and pulling because the foundation was a little thick and it was like drying down pretty fast. So with this foundation and the brush, I don't feel like any unnecessary tugging, but I am definitely not getting as much coverage over here than I did on the sponge side. You know, I never thought I would be saying that because most of the time before I even, you know, found this microfiber fusion sponge, usually brushes give more coverage than like the Beauty Blender or like any other sponge out there. But for some reason, this has been giving me amazing coverage, and the brush just does not compete with this thing anymore. As you guys can see, it's really not as high coverage as over here. Now over here, I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I would say it's like very, very high medium coverage. With the flat top kabuki brush, I want to say it's like just regular medium coverage. Because I don't like that, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a little bit more and I'm gonna finish up with the microfiber fusion sponge. I gotta say, this foundation is very, very comfortable. Not only that, but I'm looking in the mirror and it is not clinging to any of my dry patches whatsoever, which is completely amazing because normally matte foundations, any kind of matte foundations, usually cling to all my dry patches or some of my dry patches, and this is not clinging to anything, which is great. For this to be like the way it is now, this looks absolutely beautiful. It blends and just kind of seeps into the skin. It's not one of those foundations that sits on top. As for my pores, they are not as big as they normally are, and I did not use my NYX pore filler today, which is pretty amazing because most foundations, they accentuate any kind of pores that I have on my face. Now, even for my forehead, I have a little bit of texture, but like I said earlier, it's because of those little bumps that I'm breaking out with. I have no idea what they are. Other than that, I think that this is absolutely beautiful. We're also going to be testing out the concealer on top of it and see how they work together. So I have the Conceal and Define Concealer right here. This is in the shade C1. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Ooh, I'm actually almost out of this, which is amazing because I don't think I've ever finished a concealer in my life. All right, so, ooh, I'm not really sure that's gonna brighten my under eyes because it does not look that much brighter than the foundations. I know that they have a concealer that I believe is in like white, and to me, even if you were the 0.5 shade in the foundation, the white is just gonna still look pretty weird in my opinion. So the fact that the lightest concealer is almost close to the shade of the foundation, I'm not really sure that's gonna be great. So we're gonna go ahead and blend this out, and I'm gonna see if I need to add a different concealer under the eyes. So I just blended that out and I'm seeing absolutely no like lightening and brightening under my eyes, maybe just like a smidge. I just wouldn't use this color concealer for this color foundation. So I think I'm gonna have to add a different concealer here in a second. So I don't like how that really didn't brighten anything. So I'm gonna go ahead with the No Filter concealer from ColourPop. I'm just gonna add just a little bit. I don't want a lot because this stuff is super bright. So I went ahead and blended out the ColourPop concealer, and I gotta say it looks like crap with this foundation. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Makeup Revolution. Oh, look at that. Look at the color difference. That's just grody. But I'm just gonna go ahead and add some of that on top just to kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping that this will just kind of fix it a little bit. At least now I know, so I will never be using the ColourPop concealer with this. Let's go ahead and zoom you guys in so you guys can see all the things that is going on my face. As you can see here on my pores, I think that this is finally like drying down, and it's doing something weird on this side of my face. It's kind of separating, but there's like a patch right here that is not seeped into my skin. It's basically like sitting on top of my skin, but everywhere else this foundation looks absolutely beautiful. And again, here's my little demon child on my face, and if it was full coverage you would not be able to see like any of the redness coming through. You can still see some of my discoloration, my acne scars coming through. Ooh, okay, it does transfer just a little bit, so I wouldn't say that it's completely dried down just yet. So I am going to have to set my face to where I'm going to be adding some powders. I don't really know that I like the way this is sitting like on my lower half of my face. Up here, it's absolutely gorgeous, but down here, it's like creasing in the weirdest spots. Right here, I have never ever had issues, and I'm actually creasing right here, which is weird because that's also never happened. So I'm gonna see what's gonna happen after I set my face. Now that I have the foundation on, I think it's safe to say that the check-in time is 10:45. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and we will talk a little bit more about the foundation and see how it works with everything else. So I will be right back. I finally finished my face. It took, again, an hour. I am just really slow with my makeup because I like to take my time with like blending and stuff. It is now 11:55. And so we're just gonna go over what's on my face. Now I did have to set like this area here, and for some reason this part still keeps separating. I honestly don't think that it's the foundation at this point. I think that it's just my face. What else is new? But I did have to set my under eye because I was a little afraid of this happening under my eye, like separating. So I just set it to be safe. For what's on my face, for my brow product, I use the Balm Ferocious Brow Pencil. To set my face, I use the ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder in Fair. The lashes that I'm wearing are the Cocoa lashes in Diva, which I really, really like. For contour, I'm using this little mini Smashbox step-by-step contour palette. I just used the Cool shade. And for my blush, I used the Anastasia Blush Trio, and I used this color right here called, I think, Rose. Yeah, I think it's Rose. For highlight, I went ahead and used the Morphe and Bretman highlight. I mixed Baby Girl and Vacation, and I just highlighted my face. For my eyes, I went ahead and used the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Absolutely love this palette because it has a lot of pretty fall-y colors. And last but not least, for my lips, I used the Makeup Revolution. I have no idea what this is. It's just a lipstick and it's in the color Chauffeur. And I just wanted to do something a little nudie, I guess you could say. That's all that's on my face. Now, I am still getting like a lot of creasing here on my chin, but again, that happens with almost any single foundation that I have used. And for some reason right here, like on my nose, just kind of, I don't know if it like wiped off or what. I haven't touched my nose at all. Again, like this area here, it just really bothers me because I feel like it ages me like 5-10 years. I have no idea what is going on here, and I just really am not liking that whole deal. I'm starting to see the same thing happen on this side, and this is just, it's just weird. But other than that, everything else looks absolutely beautiful on my face. So my friend and I have plans to go to the pumpkin patch, so I will be checking in periodically, and at the end of the night I will wrap up right here in my makeup room. So I will see you guys in a couple of hours. It is now 4:15 and I have been wearing this for a little over 5 hours, and I am really not liking the shit that's going on around my nose. It's very, very porous. It's like separating. So I don't know what's going on with that. I have a little bit of creasing here on my forehead, but that is normal. Other than that, everything looks pretty decent. The only other complaint that I have is the sides of my lips are still separating and doing that weird thing, as well as under my nose. Like this shit right here is just fucking grody. So after a couple hours, I feel like all the cakiness around my nose might get worse because I mean I'm having a little bit of oiliness, and I have not touched this up. I have pressed powder with me, but I haven't done anything to my face. My friend and I are gonna go do some more shopping, and I will see you guys in a couple more hours. So I am in the bathroom of a JCPenney, so this is a little weird, but I just wanted to check in. It is now 6:15, and the thing is, the only reason why I'm checking is because my face looks so greasy right now. I want to reach into my bag and literally just take my pressed powder and press it all over my face, because look at this greasy mess. Look how shiny everything on my face is. And I'm not talking about just the highlight either. I'm talking about all of this. Like this is so, I've never had so much, like, I want to say oil. I don't know if this is oil or whatever, but it is pretty bad. But I'm trying to do everything I can not to reset my face. It's a little embarrassing, but I guess it's okay because I'll be going home maybe in about 30 minutes to an hour. So hopefully this doesn't fall apart any more than it already has, because I'm looking like a grease ball right now. So I will see you guys probably again in another couple of hours. So it is now 9:06 and I am just really not liking this foundation right now. I want to say it's been like 10 hours and I am having, I mean, look at my face. It looks like an oil slick. And it is just, I don't know, it just fell apart throughout the day. I normally don't wear foundation this long, but I feel like this foundation is something that you might have to set the entire face with, especially if you're someone who is oily, because I am not oily. You guys know this. I am very, very dry. And the fact that my face is so just not even dewy, it's just greasy looking, I really don't like it. I'm gonna scoot you guys in so you guys can actually see how my face is just like breaking down. Down here it has basically faded, and on my nose right here it is completely gone. I haven't touched my nose at all. I actually haven't touched my face all day long, and just this right here is just, oh, I don't know. I just feel like it's really, really gross. I feel like I'm just a really, really big grease ball right here on my forehead. If you guys can see see I have a lot of creasing going on. I honestly think that if you're going to be wearing this foundation, I would definitely recommend setting it, because like I said, I only set these areas here where I was going to put powder. The parts where I set are holding up decent, but I would not really like going out like this. And as you can see right here, it has almost like completely rubbed off, and I am just not about being like this shiny. I have to say, overall, this foundation is good if you're not going to be out for long periods of time. If you are someone who is oily, I would not recommend this at all, because again, you guys know I am a dry mess, and for me to look this slick and oily is just, to me, like really ridiculous. There were so many times where I just wanted to pull out my pressed powder and like reset my face. I just didn't want to do that because I really wanted to be honest about how this foundation ended up looking. And honestly, I can't say that this is a good foundation for long periods of time. The fact that they claim that it is a long-lasting demi matte, I get it. When you first put it on your face, it's very matte, it's very beautiful, but I feel like if you wear this for any longer than 5 hours without setting it, it is going to be a complete disaster. All right, so that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please get a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply want to talk shit, leave it on in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.